Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Weekly Wear, where I'm going to test out a foundation that I didn't know existed until you guys let me know, and many of you are very excited, I think, for it in general, but also for me to test it out so you can see how it works on my skin before you go ahead and buy it yourself. So today, I have got this new foundation from Saie. I do believe I'm pronouncing it correctly, right? But this is the Saie Glowy Super Skin Lightweight Hydrobounce Serum Foundation. It's $40. You do get 1.0 fluid ounce of product. If I counted correctly, there are 36 different shades available. And based on the arm swatches anyways, I think it looks pretty good, right? It definitely focuses on the medium skin colors, the stuff in the middle. I think it looks a little lacking maybe in the paler shades, but definitely looks like it's got some good deep shades available, so that's always great to see, since that's also usually lacking. But apparently the highlights here are that this is going to be radiant, hydrating, and have medium coverage, as well as it being cruelty-free and clean at Sephora, which we love. And to reiterate, it is going to be a lightweight serum foundation with medium buildable coverage that brightens and leaves a luminous finish. Thank you, Doo-Doo, for assisting me. It blends easily for a hydrated and seamless second skin appearance. Really? Oh, thank you so much, Doo-Doo. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, that was very, very helpful. Oh. And the other things we need to know is that this is ultra hydrating, it brightens, evens the appearance of skin, comprised of 85% skincare, hydrating luminous. They're really emphasizing the hydration, it's going to be breathable, and last all day. Like our love. And to use, we prep, pump, press, set, and glow. So I've done the prepping, and they say only 1/2 to 1 pump of product is needed. Then you gently press it into the skin with a brush or your fingertips, set it with a powder, and then, yes, they're just trying to sell us more stuff. Okay, Doo-Doo, it is time for me to test foundation. I know, I cannot hold you any longer, but I love you. Okay, so I was I had no idea which shade to buy, you guys. What else is new? I'm scared that number 7 is going to be too deep for me, but I was scared that I think number 5 was the other one I was thinking about, was going to be too light. So I don't know. I took a chance here. We're going to see how it goes. Ba-ba-da-ba. What do we have here? It might, I don't know, we're gonna see. But let's go ahead, we're gonna shake this out. As I said, I've already prepped my skin. I have washed and moisturized. I've got a brush here that looks kind of similar to the one that they advertised. The one they advertised just looks like a dense blending brush. So I too have a dense blending brush. Mine is angled, theirs is flat top. I don't think it really matters though. So we're gonna go ahead, we're shaking this up, and we're gonna see how it does on my face. I never believe that 1/2 a pump to a pump is gonna be enough to cover my whole face. I really just don't see how it's physically possible. But we're gonna try, you know, let's see how this goes. So I'm gonna try and use the first pump. Yep, it's always hard. So that's pump number 1. Looks very serumy, which I guess should be expected. But look at, where, that's not enough for even half my face, unless you want that super duper sheer kind of coverage. But okay, I'm glad it looks like the shade match is actually gonna work for me. And here it goes. Here it goes, blending into the skin. It looks like it's blending nicely, just kind of melted right into the skin. That's nice. It really does seem like people, at least in her reviews, are one way or the other on this. Like, either they say it's the best thing they've ever tried, or they say it didn't live up to the hype and they're very disappointed. So, like, there you have it. There's that first pump on 1/2 of my face. Like, there's no way that could have spread across. I really don't. I'm trying. Huh? I'm trying. I am. But I do think it maybe evened things out a little bit. It's really hard to tell. because it's so sheer, but I think it took away some of the redness in my cheek. So let's go ahead and try one more pump, boop, onto, I mean, this is definitely a serum, you guys. It is runny, but we love that it's mostly skincare, and we love that it looks like the shade is working well for me, at least so far. I know they didn't suggest a sponge, but I'm a curious cat. I like to test these things out. So let's see how the sponge does. It looks like it's blending out perfectly well and fine with a sponge, so that's great. I think that gave a bit dewier of a finish, as it tends to do. It also blended better into my nose pores, as it tends to do foundations with a sponge. So I think overall that looks pretty dang nice for just a really lightweight kind of a look, just to even things out. I'm gonna go in with half a pump more just to see about the buildability. I'm just gonna kind of focus this in the center of my face and see how that goes, using the brush to try and give it as much buildability as possible so it doesn't get sheared out with the sponge. And there you go, there we have it. I think it was definitely able to build up a little bit, took away a little bit more redness and blemish marks and whatnot, and overall I think it looks pretty good. Like I said, I think it might be emphasizing my pores on my nose a bit, but overall I think it looks nice and dewy on the skin. Definitely a second skin kind of a look. Very just fresh and even outy, you know what I mean? Just to even out the skin. Nothing super perfecting, but definitely a nice. So I'm excited. It feels lightweight, like a lightweight moisturizer or something on the skin. I shouldn't say moisturizer, that makes it sound heavier than it is, but you know, a lightweight serum on the skin. It feels nice. I am excited to see how this wears throughout the day, and I will be showing you those results in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. It's the end of the night here, and hopefully you're as curious to look at my face as I am. I just got home from my volunteer shift and there were cats all up in my face. So, is there any foundation left in this area? Questions. I have them. The cat's fur at the shelter might have the answers if it was really transfery. Let's take a look. I am happy to say that if the foundation did transfer off, it did so in a way that I can't really tell. I think it probably did come off, but it's such a graceful come offeth that but it did so gracefully. Like, I don't see the line between, you know, where the foundation starts and ends. It looks great. It looks really skin-like. You know, definitely I'm shiny on my cheeks and my forehead, where I think the majority of the foundation is still left. But like said, my God, I think the fade looks great. Maybe on camera, I don't know. Being all close up and personal, you might be able to see a little more than I can in real life, but I'm pleased, and it felt good today. You know, there were certainly times when I would be a little hot and sweaty or a little oilier than usual. There were no times that I was oilier than usual, but you know, in my oily areas anyways, you know, it kind of felt like it was maybe gonna slide off. And I was also noticing transfer onto my fingers throughout the day, so like I said, I am surprised that it looks like there's as much left on my face as there is. I'm certainly excited to keep on testing this out with primers and whatnot, and see how it continues to do. So I'm gonna get to testing, and I will bring you those results in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, good evening. It's the end of the night here on day 3 of testing, and I have got the results both in my notebook and on my face. So let me show and tell you about them. For day 2 of testing, I went ahead and used my Skin Ink. It's more of a mattifying primer, as well as my Too Faced full cover concealer and a brush and a sponge to apply. I tried, like usual, to, you know, pump the foundation out onto my finger and then wipe it on my face. That was a mistake. It got everywhere. Dripped down my finger, dripped down my face, dripped onto my shirt, dripped into my lap. It was a mess. However, I did get it to work, made things work. We had a Tim Gunn moment. It was all good. And it also blended nicely. It was a little more orange looking the other day when I tried it out. That was a little strange, but I just felt like it looked a little orange on me. But I did think that overall it once again evened out my skin in a very natural and dewy way. It felt lightweight all day as well, which was great. It was nice and comfy. It just felt a little bit like it was gonna wipe off you know, in my more oily areas, but I wasn't noticing much, if any, transfer throughout the day, which was great. However, that being said, at the end of the night, it looked a lot worse than I predicted it would look based on the fact that it hadn't been transferring so much. It had completely wiped off of my nostrils and my chin, and it collected weird around my mustache and mouth area. Just overall, bottom half of my face did not look great. Like I said, I was a little taken aback by that. But it also wasn't the worst I've ever noticed, you know, like in foundation. But again, it didn't look great. I don't want to give it too much credit. So today, I went ahead and I used my hydrating primer, my Smashbox primerizer, as well as this foundation, and then my Milk Flex concealer on top of it. I went ahead and did the foundation. I pumped it onto my face instead of my fingers, trying to avoid a mess this time, and that worked much better. A little awkward, you know, I gotta get used to doing that, but either way, I made it work and was able to cover up any bigger blemishes with my concealer after I had blended it out once again with a brush and a sponge. And overall, I thought it looked great. It looked really nice and skin-like and dewy and natural. Very beautiful. I thought it looked the same, you know, as it has the past couple of days as well. And throughout the day here, it has felt really nice and comfy. I think this is the most secure that it has felt out of the 3 days. But I haven't looked at my face yet, so this is the moment of truth. We shall see if it looks okay. And honestly, I'm gonna give it a yes. It looks like it has faded, you know, on my nose and around my mouth like usual, but it looks like it did so gracefully. I look pretty darn shiny on my forehead, but like, it is what it is. Summer's around the corner. We were doing a lot today, and that's just life, especially for me with my oily skin. I think things look really nice, you guys. I'm really pleasantly surprised. So overall, pros and cons. I got them for you if you are kind of on the fence / confused like I am. Lots of opinions, you know, over these past few days, but I would say overall it's mostly good opinions. So for the pros, it's definitely easy to blend onto the skin. I like that. And it has a skin-like finish to it. Very beautiful, very second skin. I personally really like the look of it. It's also lightweight throughout wear for the most part. And I feel weird putting these in here because it's kind of primer or no primer specific, but I feel like it should just be said. I mean, you were able to see how different it wore across the different days. So this can fade gracefully and it can be long wearing, but it kind of depends on primer, no primer, that sort of stuff, which is a little annoying, but I do also want to give it the credit. So that kind of all ties in with the cons as well. The first one, and this could be user error, it's kind of messy to apply just with how liquidy and serum-y it is. I mean, this isn't a serum technically, they call it a foundation. To me, it's very serum-like in that it's very liquidy, it goes quickly, it drips quickly, so it's a little messy, at least for me. It's also finicky, the wear of it. Like I said, with primer, no primer, that sort of a thing, I think it's gonna take some testing and take some figuring out, which is a little annoying. I would rather my product, I can be confident going into wearing it instead of like, is it going to react well today? And I don't know, I'm gonna need to keep testing this and see if it just has to do with primer or if it has to do with the weather, you know? So these things, it will come with time, but for now, also based on that, it can fade in patches and come off patchily, you know, not a graceful fade, and it also can transfer pretty badly. So I hate to be that wishy-washy with the pros and the cons, but that really is just the results that I was able to find. So I hope that this video was just helpful for you guys in seeing how the foundation wore on me. You guys can make your educated choices whether or not this is is going to be a product you're going to want to test. I personally am enjoying it so far. I can certainly see myself reaching for this in the future, can definitely see myself trying mixing it with other stuff. I like it overall. I wouldn't give it a perfect score by any means, and it has its drawbacks, but I'm going to continue using it and at least keep testing it out. So there's that, if that helps you at all. So like I said, I hope the video was helpful. If it was, please do go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below. You can also let me know if you have tried out this product and how it did for you, what kind of skin do you have, all that good stuff. If there's any other foundations or products you want to see me test in an upcoming weekly wear, let me know in those comments down below. Also, if you are new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe by tippity-tapping that notification bell down below and becoming a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I'd love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, stay well until then. Bye!